Hi, I'm Lord Asquith Dicewith Sr.
And I'm Lord Asquith Dicewith Jr.
And we're Two Kids on a Couch.
Thank you for joining us for the fourth and final installment covering the Tony nominees this season. In this episode, we'll be covering the nominees for Best Original Musical. Let's get started!
We're going to start with the shows nominated for Best Musical, the first of which is Beautiful, the Carole King musical.
Beautiful, as in my cat that I'm holding right now.
Or as in the Carole King musical. The show is about Carole King, who's a girl from Brooklyn who started as a songwriter writing for other people and then gradually grew in confidence and became a noted soloist performer herself. It stars Broadway veteran Jessie Mueller, who's really got a breakout role and is probably going to be one of the defining moments of her career. We're very excited for her.
We are very excited for her. Unfortunately for the show, Jessie Mueller is apparently the only reason to go see it. The plot is a little weak and the songs seem kind of forced, so unfortunately, sans Jessie Mueller, the show's a bit of a flop.
I did hear that the show doesn't have a lot of originality.
Yeah.
I read that if you take the plotline of Jersey Boys, the costume and set of Dreamgirls, and the music of Motown and put them all into one show,
You get Beautiful.
That's kind of what Beautiful is. Beautiful was nominated in 7 different categories, including Best Musical,
Best Book of a Musical,
Best Performance by an Actress in a Leading Role of a Musical for Jessie Mueller,
Best Performance by an Actor in a Featured Role in a Musical for Jared Spector,
Best Performance by an Actress in a Featured Role in a Musical for Anika Larson,
Best Orchestrations,
and Best Sound Design. While the show was pretty strong in a lot of areas, I don't necessarily think it'll win any of its nominations. I think it will be beat out for Best Musical by some of the more original, wittier shows on Broadway. Same with the book. The book just kind of strung the songs together and didn't have a whole lot of plot to it from what I heard. Jessie Mueller did a great job. I don't know that she can beat the powerhouses of Sutton Foster and Idina Menzel, who are also up for her nomination.
Yeah.
Same with supporting actors. I really like Jared Spector, but he has some tough competition, and as does Anika, so I don't really think they're going to win those.
In terms of sound design, I actually heard that might win because of, different live performances on pianos and jukeboxes and stuff.
And as for orchestrations, I think it has a chance. A lot of times, the orchestrations for a jukebox musical are actually more impressive because they have to take songs that already exist and find a way to make them fresh and fit the voices of their performers.
Yes.
So it adds a shot for orchestrations.
Our next show is Aladdin. Now, this show, classically derived from the 1992 smash Disney animated hit Aladdin, is actually kind of overstimulating people. Because they didn't alter the plot as much as they have in some of their other shows, is trying very hard to distract from the fact that everything is a cliche by throwing in tap dances and sequins and apparently horrendous puns. Which
I actually
are
like some of the puns.
Well,
but there's a lot of them.
there's a lot of them. And I mean, I know bad puns, and I know that everyone has a limit.
Except Aladdin, apparently.
Yeah.
I think it's a fun show. It's not my favorite of the Disney musicals. And it's not a bad show. I think it's going to be a very successful show. But it's not what I want to see on Broadway right now.
Yeah. Aladdin received 5 nominations this year, including Best Musical,
Best Book of a Musical,
Best Original Score of a Musical,
Best Performance by an Actor in a Featured Role in a Musical for James Monroe Iglehart.
and Best Choreography.
I think it's a contender in every category.
Especially Best Choreography, because if there's one thing spectacles
There's
do
a
well,
lot of
it's choreography.
But this is a high choreography year, actually.
It is a high choreography
There's
year.
tons of big dance shows, so I don't think it's going to win.
In terms of Best Featured Actor,
I actually think he might win. I liked him, and I heard that he does a lot to carry the show.
good for him.
Yeah.
In terms of Best Score,
It doesn't seem original enough to me.
it doesn't.
It's the songs you heard in the movie.
Yep. Best Book of a Musical, it's the same script, so...
I wouldn't say it would win Best Book.
And I don't think it's going to win Best Musical either, because of a show we're going to talk about in a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our next show is After Midnight, the show that's only kind of a Broadway musical. It's really a lot like a musical review.
Yes.
Where people just sing unconnected songs one after another. That's really what this is. It's more
It
like a
is.
concert than anything else.
Of course, it has some great choreography and a lot of the high-energy dance numbers, and it has a lot of very talented vocalists.
And I heard the band itself actually plays a pretty cool role in the show. I'm not a fan of the show. I get that the people are talented, but I don't think it belongs on Broadway. After Midnight earned 7 nominations, including Best Musical,
Best Performance by an Actress in a Featured Role in a Musical for Adrienne Lennox,
Best Direction of a Musical,
Best choreography.
Best costume design of a musical.
Best lighting design of a musical.
And best sound design of a musical.
The sound design, if by sound design they mean incredible jazz musicians, then it's going to win.
It's very possible. I don't think it'll win best show.
I don't believe it's going to win best actress.
I do think it'll win best choreography.
That is highly possible.
I've heard very good things about the choreography. I think it might be number one.
Yes.
The direction, I could see why it's nominated, because since this isn't a traditional show, the direction has to be clever and has to be good to make the show work.
And it's working, so...
So it might win best direction of a musical.
It might.
I don't know if I wanted to, but it very well might.
The costumes don't seem specifically exciting,
There's
so...
a lot of tuxedos, a lot of fancy
Yes,
dresses.
which works for the show, but I don't know that it's going to earn itself any Tonys.
No. As for lighting design, I feel like lighting design for a concert, which is kind of what this is just easier than for a play.
Yes.
And for that reason, I don't think it should win, because it's not as impressive.
Our next show is A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder.
This is a show that transferred from the West End this year, and I'm, for one, am a huge fan.
Absolutely. This show is doing remarkably well, and for great reason. It has a wonderful script. It's headed up by two unbelievably talented actors.
Stellar.
It's funny, it's witty, it's sharp, it's clever, and it's new.
It's so original. Like, I never would have thought of it. I mean,
No.
it did transfer from London.
But it was new over there, too.
Yeah, the show itself isn't based off of anything. It's kind of dark, like, the plotline really should be really serious and evil.
But it's just not.
But it's just
so funny.
They make fun of themselves so much. It's so lighthearted.
It's such a satire.
It's got colorful characters.
Absolutely.
And it's just fun.
A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder received 10 nominations this year. Best Musical.
Best performance by an actor in a leading role in a musical for Bryce Pinkham.
Best Performance by an Actor in a Leading Role in a Musical for Jefferson Mays.
Best direction of a musical.
Best Book of a Musical.
Best original score written for the theater.
Best Performance by an Actress in a Featured Role in a Musical for Lauren Worsham.
Best orchestrations.
Best Scenic Design of a Musical.
And best costume design of a musical.
Now, I think it's very likely that both actors, Mr. Bryce and Mr. Jefferson, have a very good shot of winning their Tonys.
Yeah. I'd have to give the edge to Jefferson Mays, though.
Yes.
If you watch the highlight reel they put on YouTube,
It's really just his face.
it's just his mini faces.
So many faces.
I think he's going to win best performance by an actor. There is little question in my mind that he is the forerunner to win.
Ain't even mad.
I also think this will win best musical.
I think it's very likely because there's no, weak point of this musical.
It has the whole package.
It has the whole package.
It has good songs, has a clever book, strong cast, good direction, good costumes, good visual effects. It's got murder. Everybody loves murder.
Murder. Good set.
Good set. It is the whole package. It brings it all together.
Absolutely.
And it's just an entertaining evening.
Yeah, it is.
I also think it has a good shot at best book because it is witty.
Yes.
And it's a smart concept.
And if we had to pick a strong point of this musical, it would be the book.
Yeah, so I think it's very likely it'll hit best book.
Yes. Best orchestration, it could really go either way. The music was good, and the orchestra played the music.
But I'd be surprised if it won.
Yeah.
I think the costumes in this show were really good, but I don't think it's good enough to beat Hedwig, so I don't think it's going to win.
Sorry.
It has a shot at scenic design because they did a good job of showing lots of different scenarios and things, but we've already talked about some other shows, and we're going to talk about some more shows that have some great sets, so I don't really think it'll be able to top those, so I say no for scenic design.
No for scenic design. Miss Worsham, because her character wasn't the main focus of the show, and because Bryce and Jefferson did such a fantastic job, I don't think she's going to be able to take the Tony this year.
She's going to be a bit overshadowed. It's very possible it could win Best Direction, but there's a lot of good contenders, and I don't really think so, but if that one's really up in the air, it could go anyways.
It could. Lightning round. Big Fish.
Based off Tim Burton's movie of the same name, this is the story of Edward Bloom. On his deathbed, tells tall tales to all of his family, and his son starts to question their legitimacy. I love the movie, and I love a lot of the actors, especially Norbert Leo Butz, who did a great job in the show. Unfortunately, a lot of people said that the show was a bit too muddled, there was too much going on, and it was hard to follow most of it, so it didn't receive very good reviews. And since it closed some time ago, it received no nominations. I was very sad. The Bridges of Madison County.
Bridges of Madison County is not nearly as sophisticated as it may seem. The Bridges of Madison County follows a young Italian immigrant who's kind of trying to find her place in the world. Unfortunately, she moves to Iowa. Frankly, the show, although it's received amazing reviews, people say that it's kind of weak and it's a little hallmarky, and I believe it's been described as having the depth of a postcard. The Bridges of Madison County received four nominations, including Best Orchestrations by Jason Robert Brown, which I think it's very likely it's going to win.
Best Score, which I also think it has a good shot at.
Best Performance by an Actress in a Leading Role in a Musical for Kelly O'Hare, who would have a shot except for Sutton Foster.
And Best Lighting Design of the Musical, which I don't think will quite be able to win.
First Date.
This is the hilarious love story about first impressions and second chances. Zachary Levi and Krista Rodriguez play people on a first date who literally have their baggage with them in the form of other actors who reenact people from their lives and bring out their insecurities and their loves. I personally really like this show. I own this soundtrack and I'm a big fan, but unfortunately it received no nominations. Some people thought the story was a little muddled and people didn't think it really popped. The tunes were hummable, but nothing really lasting. It also closed a long time ago, and I think that probably played the biggest role in it not being nominated for anything this season. Bullets Over Broadway.
Bullets Over Broadway was the comedy musical spectacle that was really more spectacle than musical or comedy. The plot revolves around a mobster joining a Broadway show to impress his girlfriend. The show includes a lot of jokes and a lot of flashy dance numbers and a lot of spectacles. People said it was a little bit hard to follow, but apparently they still liked it because it earned 6 nominations this year, including Best Book of a Musical, which we don't think is a good one because of Gentleman's Guide, Best Scenic Design of a Musical,
no.
Costume Design of a Musical, no, Best Orchestrations, no, Best Choreography, no, and Best Performance in an Actor in a Musical in a Featured Role for Nick Cordero, no.
Maybe.
No.
Possibly no. A Night with Janis Joplin.
A Night with Janis Joplin is a musical similar to A Lady Day at Emerson's Bar and Grill in that it is a concert of Janis Joplin and all her works. This show didn't receive a lot largely because Janis Joplin wasn't the most famous singer-songwriter ever and her songs weren't the greatest. However, they do say that the woman playing Janis Joplin, Mary Bridget Davies, is absolutely spectacular. In fact, that's probably why she earned this show's 1 nomination for Best Actress in a Leading Role in a Musical.
Do we think she'll win?
No.
We don't think she'll win.
Soul Doctor.
This is a really interesting show about one of the first men, Shlomo, I forget his last name, who brought Jewish music to the pop culture scene. It was actually a really cool show. I called it the Jewish Godspell. It was just a bunch of people kind of sitting around having fun, singing songs about love and happiness, but then kind of being persecuted for it. The actor who played Shlomo and the leading lady both did an excellent job. However, the show closed some time ago, and I think that's why it wasn't recognized for any of the nominations. So it went home without any nominations at all. I'm very sad. So is Chicken. Rocky.
Rocky the musical, modeled after the movie of the same name, is actually doing pretty well on Broadway. But no one is more excited about this musical than our father, who has been raving about it since it was rumored to come out, in 2011. Although it's receiving a lot of hype, it seems as though the show is a letdown in certain areas, so Rocky only received 4 nominations this year. Those nominations were Best Performance by an Actor in a Leading Role in a Musical for Andy Carl playing the role of Rocky, Best Scenic Design in a Musical, which I don't think it's going to win, Best Lighting Design in a Musical, which I also don't think it's going to win, and Best Choreography. I don't think it's going to win that either.
Hey, I got it. We've now covered all the shows nominated. Giving you our thoughts on them. Some we spent more time on than others.
Yeah.
But you should have an idea of where we stand on pretty much every show that came out in this season.
So, like, comment, subscribe, share.
We'll see you next time.
On
Two Kids on a Couch.